So we'll get into pick number 3, or excuse me, game number 3, picks and bans, right about now. And we'll see how MV3 and OCG wind up going.
MV3 surprising last game that they didn't take away the Merlin. They banned away the Ullr and the Hunt Bats, and they banned away the Hunt Bats in both games. I think they're really worried about Kinder Warrior's team fighting presence on the Party Monkey, but there's plenty of other junglers that can make that kind of impact. Susano was definitely able to rip through with the Typhoon a bunch as well. I think they need to start leaning on more of the popular bands, the Merlins, the Arthurs of the like.
It's possible. At the end of the day, I do think that Hunbats brings something completely, by himself. Fear No Evil strip speeds for an entire team. You can look at different options and different counters. Susano certainly done the carry work. So we'll see if that's going to be continuing to go. But OCG continuing to ban out Hun Bats. The first selection overall is Ullr, character that's been banned game 1 and 2. So MV3 bringing him out here should be fun.
A lot of build-up, I would say, for this Ullr pick. So we better see something from it, considering that it's first picked. Sometimes some guides are worthy of that first pick based on the scoreline, and other times they just kind of backfire. And if I'm looking at this Ullr first pick, knowing the weaknesses of Ullr without any CC immunity, I'm drafting a composition that's going to be able to lock him down.
That's why I like Vulcan first pick, because he can succeed and backfire.
Yes, he can. You're not wrong.
That's all I work here for. Ravana will be the jungler of choice, most likely. Could find his way into the solo lane as well. You like that one, didn't you?
Not really, no.
You like that one.
No.
You really like that
They
one.
pay me to smile at your jokes.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that in your contract?
Yeah. I can't stop smiling.
Soul is picked. She'll be the sole auto attacker here.
The soul? Okay, I don't get it. Explain it.
Like the
Like she has like the soul in her heart? Is she's attacking from her heart?
Well, I was gonna say she's the sole mage here. She's the only mage. The soul
mage.
No, soul S-O-L. Oh my god, totally. You're doing this on purpose.
No, I'm not.
Guan Yu being picked here for OCG. You really don't get it?
Explain it to us at home. Elaborate.
No. The ban's coming through as well. Terra going to be banned out here by MV3. OCG following their Geb ban with a Fafnir. And then MV3 will finish their bans off. One more coming. What are you expecting to see banned here?
Probably a support. Khepri wouldn't be a bad idea looking at these defensive guardians all across the board, but instead recognizing that OutCold Gaming probably looking for a safer kind of hunter player. Where, considering that Ullr is going to be hyper aggressive, you don't want to deal with a Jingwei that's just going to take all that poke, go back to base, come back healthy in like the next 15 seconds.
OCG here choosing which character they want to go for. Kumbhakarna will be the choice of support. Guan Yu likely to be in the short side. Susano jungle, Poseidon in the middle lane, and Kumbhakarna will be sharing the lane with an unannounced hunter just yet. Ullr, Ravana, Soul on the other side.
Very aggressive draft from MV3. A lot of burst damage, but not that safe thus far. And Artio is not going to make it any safer. I'm surprised that it's not a Khepri, trying to keep some of the Soul and Ullr combinations alive. And when you're dealing with a Guan Yu, a Kumbhakarna gods that want the team fights to last as long as possible, a Khepri would have went a long way.
Artio and Achilles here to round out what MV3 has done with their draft so far. Achilles, one of the stronger characters, finding his way to 9th pick, an interesting thing to think about. And the last choice will be Cernunnos, a team fight hunter for sure. The Wild Hunt, one of the larger ultimates when it comes down to this position. And of course, the Bramble Blast, always annoying.
That's right. Transforming everybody to piggies is going to be annoying for Ullr specifically if he's trying to jump in aggressively, which I'm expecting to be the case.
Well, here's the rubber match. It's 1-1. We'll break it open right now. Somebody's got to win. Casters, show us the game.
Thanks, Tom. Thanks, Toli. Aggro, let's say that you thought you were the better hunter, and you had empirical evidence, like over the last 2 games, to prove that at least right now you're playing much hotter than your opposition.
Yeah.
What pick would you want? And consider that it is Jose Raid that's on the Ullr.
I would want Ullr.
Okay.
I would want Ullr.
So you would give it maybe to Beast then?
I would absolutely give it to Beast. Now, Beast has played a lot of Soul, and Jose Rayito's played a lot of Ullr so far. And I understand both of those things. And I would have wanted Beast on the Ullr. He's just been, I mean, Just Lion has been getting crushed in his lane.
That's what Ullr
just
does.
Objectively. It's not an opinion I'm saying. That is just fact. He's been getting manhandled over here. Soul just doesn't kill you like Ullr does. This is the I'm going to sit it out and farm a bit sort of pick.
Right.
It's also, you can pick Soul here and just put it in the mid lane, and it's better against Poseidon because you're slow immune during this Apparate. This just makes no sense to me.
This is curious. Yeah, Jose could definitely get punished by this Whirlpool if he's not careful
Yeah,
on this Ullr in the middle lane.
I love going up against Ullr as Poseidon because if I ever see you in both stance, you're dead.
Yes.
As soon as I have Kraken, you're just dead. If you don't have your relics, you're dead. So, and Soul just does it. I feel like I can never Kraken Soul ever when I'm playing Poseidon. So that's why these picks I thought, oh, that's really smart. You give them the better pick, you give the Soul in the mid lane, and then they just don't.
Jhox, though, is playing the Achilles in the jungle to get them some early pressure, and Cynortas feels pressure enough to actually drop beans from the pressure just from Jhox there in the middle lane.
I also just don't like this Achilles in jungle instead of Ravana because, again, Ravana's just a character that you can never Kraken.
Yes.
So you want him around the Poseidon at all times. I don't know. I thought Mv3 had a really good draft. I really liked this draft overall. And then they just put everything in spots I didn't like. And now I don't like it at all.
No. Well, they're going to have some trouble here. Cynortas, I feel like this pick has functioned almost like a ban for Jose Raito. And maybe that the Poseidon has kind of thrown this for a loop, right? And we haven't seen Jose play anything else yet today, so maybe he was really hoping that he'd be able to have this Poseidon again, and Cynortas take that one away, so they can't.
But after game 2, I kind of want Jose to stay on it.
Ooh, there's the pressure, though, in the middle lane coming from the Ullr. Axe lands, and Cynortas, remember, had the beads forced early by Jhox, and that's an easy kill.
What I was saying is, like, after game 2, I think I want Jose on Poseidon. If he's going to continue to do exactly what he's been doing, I think the only reason he had such a good game 1 is because he got so far, the whole team was so far ahead, it didn't matter that the build wasn't working. So, I don't know. That's something that when I was playing, we were really big on is, you know, if someone wants to stick on a comfort pick and it's just like not doing a whole lot for them, keep playing it. Because now not only have you not impressed us on it so far, but we also know we've been playing against it for a couple matches in a row. We know exactly how you're going to play every single situation, basically. It just makes more sense to give them that pick than try and take it away from them.
Jose Raito has the red buff around his waist and is ready to go. FataliTyxFire, though, is not ready to go. He does have that heal and the dash available. That's just enough to get him away. Even with that extra damage from combat dodge, Jhox could not close the gap. They even steal away the blue buff at the last moment from Kinder Warrior. That hurts for OutCold.
Perfect for Mv3, though, because that Guan Yu, one of the most vulnerable warriors to getting blue buff stolen and have it be a big impact on him. He just needs a lot of mana in that lane, and by stripping away that blue buff, you're giving Father of All a great opportunity to continue to bully, as he has through the first 3 or 4 levels.
Looking good so far on this Ravana, just someone who's ready to go maybe a bit sooner than this Guan Yu is, and he's used to great effect. Level 5 now, though. Not a ton of kill potential on the Guan, who can always just leave once his own ultimate is available. So he'll use that to bully him out and control the lane. So far, though, despite Cynortas being on this Poseidon, Jose has looked comfortable in the middle lane. Now that might change when Kraken gets here, you know, and it gets a little bit more punishing to be stuck in those whirlpools. But for now, Jose's feeling good.
Absolutely. I mean, you got the early first blood. That's exactly what you want to do as Ullr. You always want to stay ahead as Ullr in the mid lane. You should be getting mid-camp control. You should be playing very aggressively, and Jose definitely has done that a lot during his time on playing Ullr. As I mentioned, he's definitely played this pick a couple times before. But as soon as Cynortas finishes off his boots, I feel like that's it is now Cynortas' lane to punish. As long as he doesn't get axe comboed and poked out too much, you can really play aggressively on the Poseidon.
Jose, though, has that Transcendence finish, so there won't be any extra movement speed to help with the Whirlpool. It's almost like he's saying, if I'm stuck in the Whirlpool, it's just over anyway.
Yep.
Like, my plan is to burst him down before we come to that. And this Transcendence, once it's stacked and finished, is going to make this Ullr tremendously scary. It's so much extra power that he'll have at his disposal.
Yeah, I actually don't mind the Transcendence rush here. You got First Blood, so you have the extra gold. You can kind of put it to good use by finishing off your stacking item early. And especially while you have Purification beads up, Jose should be looking to get Kraken and beads it away and get the kill with it, with that opening that he's kind of creating for himself.
Jhox is quite low. Fatal Strike doesn't get him far enough away from a horse, and FataliTyxFire answers back. Now Father of All might be in some trouble. He does land a slow, but they've got a slow of their own with that Whirlpool pulled right back in by Kinder Warrior. Overhead kick, though, immunes just enough damage that Father of All is at it.
Just Lion, one auto, and that'll do it. No beats for him, and the root was good for Hoziel, so good dual lane pressure. Soul getting it done anyways, I suppose.
Well, Artio's pretty good,
Yeah.
even if you're on a Soul, and she sets that one up for OhMyJhox Beast to take down Just Lion. This is something that Soul can do that maybe a lot of other hunters can't do at level 6, which is put a lot of pressure onto tower if she gets a moment. With that heat passive stacked up, she really can chunk.
About half HP on the tower already. The full wave under there as well. mrsacx just can't do enough to peel away Hoziel, but you have to save your mez for that life tap. That's so much damage and setup for the enemy hunter. That should kind of be your priority of shutting down. Like Guan Yu, you're always saving your mez to stop the Talu Assault. Why not do the same for the life tap?
Oh, Seal shouldn't end up falling here. Does have a shell to get him a moment, but it's just not enough. Kinder Warrior evens up the kill count at 2-2, though JhoX has now made his own rotation in, and Just Lion, his beats go right back onto cooldown as JhoX finds that kill, but now JhoX in trouble. Whirlpool lands, he's pulled right back in. Cynortas finds an easy kill for himself, so it's once again tied back up, 3-3.
Man, but that's another death on a Just Lion that seemed pretty avoidable to me, Finch. I mean, Kinder Warrior gets the kill and dashes out and then turns around and watches his hunter try to go barrel stuff the Soul. I mean, that's just not an easy cleanup kill for JhoX, though in the end, he does end up getting cleaned up as well. So 2 for 1, still in favor of OutCold. Maybe Just Lion was baiting all along.
Maybe.
If this was game 1, I think I'd give him the benefit of the doubt, right? We've just seen enough up until this point.
Right, too much evidence to the contrary.
I think we're on the same page.
Hopefully. Well, Seal's on the same page. Looks like he is. OutCold had a chance for a pincer, but don't pull the trigger. Don't want to try and lock down the Artio just yet. But so far, all the pressure that we thought might not be there for Mv3 has seemed to be there, right? Jose has gone unpunished in the middle lane. OhMyJhox Best, or Beast rather, has gone unpunished in the dual lane on this Soul. It's just been a couple of deaths for JhoX that he's had to take after overextending a little bit to try and clean up some of these kills, but for the most part, Mv3 are feeling good as Kraken tickles Hoziel. He walks away almost unchanged. In fact, he'll even get a little bit of healing on the back end, and he's A-okay.
Cynortas was nearly out of mana. I feel like he probably felt like he had to make an impact where he could, but he's pushing up now with Hoziel right there. That was scary after Jose had jumped in towards the middle lane. JhoX still lurking on that left-hand side. Kinder Warrior ends up eating a whole bunch of damage off that Shield of Achilles stun, and the cripple right on top of that as well. Knock up good, but execute even better.
Yeah, Fatal Strike pretty strong, and that brings down Kinder Warrior. A critical target for OutCold, or for Mv3 rather, to take away from OutCold. Kinder Warrior, through this set, has at times dragged OutCold into relevancy in some of these games. In Game 1 in particular, he's the only reason that one I feel like goes as long as it does, and in Game 2 he was critical as well. This is trouble though for Just Lion if things weren't bad enough. A gank, a wraparound on the backside of the Tier 1, tower down before the 9-minute mark.
Man, but he's stepping up, half HP, Finch, no purification beads, and there's no way he saves that tower anyways, and then he's dead as soon as the tower is gone, because Beast can just chase him down. Just more bad decision-making in the duo lane.
And his 3rd death of the game, and yet again, the pressure just goes to Mv3 regardless of the pick. Maybe this was the real play. Instead of going, let's give Beast something he can run the duo lane with, it seems as though Mv3 have recognized they'll run the duo lane regardless, and just give him Soul.
Sure. Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. I don't hate that idea. It also gives him better late game impact, I think, on the Ullr than he would have had on the Ullr.
Right.
He can have more late game impact on the Soul, ideally. But I mean, I feel like I want to really, you know, if I'm in Beast's shoes, I want Just Lion to be 0-7 before we're done with the laning phase.
Right.
And Ullr just does that to you so well. I mean, you kill purification beads and he just never gets to leave his tower. And even then you can kill him.
Cynortas drops the Whirlpool and the Kraken at his feet. It actually does bring JhoX quite low and puts an end to that aggression, though the Tier 1 tower in mid is also in some trouble. The Soul in duo and the Ullr in mid have really threatened these towers so far of OutCold Gaming. And Mv3, at least here in this early game, 3,000 up, 10 minutes in, looking very strong up against the best in PS4 EU.
mrsacx in a lot of trouble. Great ultimate from Beast to keep him locked down. Jose with a great flank as well and a better axe. Ends up getting the easy kill under the enemy support. And with these two auto attackers, should be pretty easy for them to do the Gold Fury, especially with Cynortas' ultimate down. Just Lion is on purple buff. He needs the farm. Mv3 off to a great start again.
Transcendence now evolved for Jose Raito as well, so if you didn't think he was scary before, you certainly will now. Tier 1 tower could be forced down. Oh, this is a wraparound. I don't know if Cynortas has recognized it. JhoX can't find the stun, but he does find the damage. Beads are there to get him away. Hail of Arrow is off the mark as well, and the Typhoon is good from Kinder Warrior. Maybe some execution mistakes have cost Mv3 as OutCold find a kill. The Tier 1 tower does go down, and Sax off the mark with the epic uppercut, but they'll be able to find Hoseel either way.
Kinder Warrior, 1 HP. Jose with an auto attack will finish that off. Jose wants to keep the fight going. He actually ends up downing, but here comes FataliTyxFire. Kraken perfect from Cynortas. Now Jose's jump is down. And this is what happens sometimes to the teams that aren't used to playing with the lead against the top end. You just get a little bit too amped up.
Yeah, maybe so. I don't know if I dislike that call, really, to try and lock down Cynortas. He still had beads, so it wasn't going to be easy. That just felt like execution was off the mark for me on that one. So I don't even know so much if we need to go back and rewrite the plan, is just make sure. I mean, Hail of Arrows is off the mark. That's so much damage if that lands. You know, JhoX wasn't in range for the stun, though I don't think it would have done enough anyway because of the beads. There was a minion kind of blocking him. It just felt like a couple things went wrong.
Well, that's certainly true, yeah. A lot of stuff definitely went wrong. It's just a matter of which way you want to slice it. I think that you're right, but you have, I don't know. Here's my thought process.
Right.
Neither team has showed me that they're going to hit everything.
Yes.
So when the call is, let's do this, but we have to hit everything.
Right.
That kind of by default makes it a bad call in my mind.
Well, there you go. You've brought me back around, so that's fair. That is fair. I'm on your side again. The Tier 1 tower does, though, at least go down. So that is strong for Jose Raito and the rest of the squad. They even steal away the red buff yet again, so they've got one on Beast and on this Ullr, who it looks like might be working into a Crusher. And Cynortas gets rooted here without beads, and that spells trouble for him. There's that damage from the Ullr, and Cynortas a distant memory as he gets removed. Though this is a good lockdown between Kinder and Sax, but Fatal Strike allows for the reposition, as does the leap from Jose Raito, but he only has help in the form of this Hoseel to try and keep him alive as Best finds Kinder Warrior.
Jose doesn't have Aegis. Not that it's down, or that it's on cooldown. My man bought Blink against Guan Yu and Poseidon and Susano.
He also looked to prove me wrong on that Crusher call. It's a Jotun's Wrath, third item.
Okay.
Crusher's really good.
Yes.
mrsacx is also very dead. As it looks like we're going to have a brief pause coming out. We'll get everything sorted out with these players and get you guys back into the action here in just a moment. No, maybe not. Let's keep things going. I love it.
It was a moment.
That was me back here just getting that worked out.
Yes, really great work by you, Finch. Yeah. Also, thanks for fixing the servers at any given time.
Yeah, I do that all the time. That's all on me. Let me know and I'll go handle it.
Though I will ask, where's my Erlong Shen skin, man?
Oh, yeah, what's your account name?
Well, no, I just mean like I want a new Erlong Shen skin.
Oh, that's not. I don't do that though. Sorry.
What or how lazy can you be?
Yeah, I just cast.
Stupid caster.
Yeah, that's all I do.
What are you talking about?
Can I say something?
What do you do when you aren't casting, huh? What's that about?
You're right. I should get in there and design some skins. Kraken comes through, and that brings Jose Raito quite low. In fact, Cynortas nearly wins the solo 1v1, but unfortunately there are no 1v1s. JhoX comes in to take the baton, but he catches the hands too. Cynortas playing this Poseidon quite well right now.
Good knockback and did good damage to Jose Raito, who didn't have an Aegis available to be used. Hey,
right, because of the blink.
Because he has a blink. It just, yeah. JhoX now caught lazy backing a bit, though. He's backing on his own speed. How lazy is that? Don't know if I can even blame him for it. Kinder Warrior just sniffs it out and gets the kill, trades ult for ult, but still ends up on top.
Man, that early lead starting to be whittled away from Mv3 off the back of some careless plays here and there. They still have this lead. You know, OhMyJhox Beast is still very much scary. So is Jose Raito. This is their time to shine. But they could be shining a lot brighter if it hadn't been for the fight under mid lane tower and taking some spills in mid lane. They made things a little bit harder than they had to be. Can I say something unrelated to SMITE?
I would love you to.
I just got a message from the people that I pay for my car.
Yeah.
So they took $350 human from me.
That, yeah.
And they said at the top line, thank you for your payment.
Yeah.
Why say that? What does that mean? Thank you.
Hey,
Good God.
Because you definitely had a choice.
Right,
you know?
Exactly.
You could have decided not to, and they wouldn't have been angry at all.
Right.
They're
But
really,
I did them that favor.
Right, you're expressing they're expressing their gratitude for you tossing them a bone
That's me.
over at Nissan.
350 poorer, by the way.
Oh, help us. Yeah, I understand that.
It is nice to be able to drive places. So, we like it.
It's a necessary evil, I suppose.
Oni Fury in the sights now for OutCold, as well as for Mv3. They've got all 5 members here, all 10 really across the map are here to take this fight. Mv3 push forward first, and that's the Wild Hunt from Just Line, a big cooldown that Mv3 have baited out without having to use any relics. Father of All trying to frontline, but it's Jose Raitu who ends up low, has to jump away. Kraken lands onto Hoseel, and if they can take this Artio out early, then that's a big win for OutCold. It's Just Lion who does it, but a double kill for OhMyJhox Beast on the Soul brings things back to parity and in favor of Mv3.
Oh, Beast finally goes down. FataliTyxFire able to get it. His Kinder Warrior still on the run. His blink coming up, but he got put in combat. No, just in time. Jose Raitu, his own blink, already down. Little hail of arrows, nearly found a home, but now he's got to turn his attention to these frontliners right on top of him.
Is able to jump away over the wall, and now OutCold may have overcommitted, trying to find this Ullr. He can sneak his way back in and find some more damage to take down FataliTyxFire. So a nice fight from Mv3 on the back end, though no one finds the objective. Though that might change as Jose Raitu sticks around despite how low he is to try and help take down the Oni. He's got to be careful. mrsacx is nearby.
Jhox can't really tank that forever. It really needed to be Father of All, but then if Father of All is tanking, then who's zoning mrsacx? So good job by the Kumbhakarna to understand that was still happening, though it is a ward for OutCold on the Oni Fury to let them know.
Do you like this Typhons that's been picked up for OhMyJhox Beast? He did Bancroft's Pen Boots Typhons here.
Yeah,
so it's a ton of lifesteal.
It's a ton of lifesteal.
And he did double lifesteal when he played a Hunter.
Yeah, he definitely seems to like to be able to stand and fight for a long time. It can be good. I think that Typhon's a little bit expensive. It's a big power spike for you, and it definitely feels good on Soul, so I don't blame him too much. But he needs Pen a little bit earlier on. I mean, you've already got a Genji's Guard for FataliTyxFire, a Pestilence for mrsacx. You're just not going to be doing enough damage to those two at this point with this build. And OutCold Gaming has had really heads-up builds, and they've built into anti-heal, which makes this build a lot worse. I mean, Pestilence, Divine Ruin, and Brawler's Beatstick. That's every anti-heal available to them, basically, outside of a Cursed Onk. So this build is going to be a lot less effective now. I think that OutCold has had pretty heads-up builds, but Beast probably should have gone for an Obsidian Shard or Demonic Grip, something else in that slot.
Might have Demonic Grip coming soon. He's sitting on the tier 1 of the ring. Typhoon used by Kinder Warrior, and that brings OhMyJhox Beast down quite low. It costs him his beads as well. That's the leap on cooldown for Jose Raitu already as well. Axe not going to land, neither is the root. And FataliTyxFire can feel free now to re-engage, knowing that the CC is no longer there. Hoseel gets pulled right back into the whirlpool. The bear gets drowned. But Kraken way off the mark. FataliTyxFire, though, finds Jhox either way, but OhMyJhox Beast removes Cynortas, and the mage removed.
FataliTyxFire still on that front line, but he's starting to lose some HP pretty quickly. Kinder Warrior into the back line onto Beast, but I don't think he has enough damage to burst him down. Father of All is already taking care of Just Lion as well. And the fight continues to go Mv3's way as mrsacx now asleep under the tier 2.
Yeah, if at the end of the fight, Jose Raitu gets to jump in full health, then it's going to be a hard one for OutCold to win.
It's crazy to me because he didn't have purification beads. We saw his jump go down, and FataliTyxFire is close enough.
Yeah.
Exactly. FataliTyxFire should just get on the horse and stun the man, and Cynortas should just sprint full head-on and insta-kill him.
Yes.
And even if Cynortas ends up dying after that, you're trading 1 for 1, and you've taken out someone who's a higher level than you, who's putting out more damage than you. Cynortas' Kraken was bad there, but that's because he's about to die, and it's better to just press the button and hope it does something than to die with it up. So I can't really criticize him for that, but FataliTyxFire in the rest of OutCold, there should be Jose Raitu having 2 deaths against this comp with no Aegis is inexcusable. It's just too easy to punish him, And they keep trying to dive OhMyJhox Beast, and I get it. He's been carrying this team. He's 8-1. He's level 18. He's doing way more than your Hunter, so you're looking to really kill him. But just take the easy kills, and eventually Beast can die. It's really a lot harder to die the Soul than it is the Ullr. Just shut down this Ullr. It's so easy to do so.
I'm not sure what it is that had FataliTyxFire feeling so spooked as well. He was so far forward and baited out so much CC too. He dodged it all throughout that fight. So even if it wasn't for the horse, he could have just sat on Jose, it felt like, at that point, because so much had been used. But instead, Jose kind of gets a bit of a pass on the back end of that fight. He's able to re-engage and cause some problems. And this is very, very curious from Just Lion. I don't know how he wins this trade. He ends up falling to the Soul, doesn't find much there at all.
I just don't get it, Finch. I mean, this is 3 games in a row now where you're just making horrible decision after horrible decision. I don't know how he ever thinks he's winning that fight on the tier 1. I don't know if Beast maybe looped in from the jungle and Just Lion was unaware that he was going to be there, but
sure,
where else is he going to be, man? You've got no wards there. You can't be up that far.
Yeah, at this point, you're so far behind. I know it feels frustrating that you can't be up there safely. You just don't have the information. As Kinder Warrior in trouble, big dunk comes through for Father of All, and that spells the end for the jungler on the side of OutCold. Now in the 5v4, or really the 5v3, as Just Lion's already fallen. Mv3 can continue to push into the Phoenix. mrsacx in some trouble, has the Whirlpool there to help, and FataliTyxFire hops up onto the horse to force everyone back. But Jox just goes to the back line, no one there to help Cynortas, and he goes down.
Beast still plenty healthy. Remember, he's got double lifesteal. This Phoenix doesn't have a shot, I don't think, Finch. I mean, Just Lion's here, and he has his ultimate, but he's only level 16.
FataliTyxFire in trouble as well. Can't afford to stay in range of all that damage for very long. A 4-man Mez is strong. That buys OutCold some time as Jox actually falls to Just Lion. That's an important pick that he's able to find, but the 2 carries have been doing it all. Clean the kills up on the back end. Sax goes down. So does FataliTyxFire, and the left side Phoenix joins him as well. Mv3 now on the precipice of giving OutCold their first set loss.
Jose looking to keep on going, but Kinder Warrior gonna blink in with Father of All there. That's enough to turn, actually, to get Jose out, but ambitious from Jose, to say the least. Left side Phoenix down. Now Mv3 can strip the jungle, go back, and just go straight to Fire Giant, because OutCold is going to have to contest on Fire with their left side Phoenix down and a bunch of relics on cooldown as well. I mean, Kinder Warrior doesn't have any relics, Cynortas doesn't have any relics, mrsacx doesn't have any relics. This is a great opportunity for Mv3.
How much better has Jose looked on this Ullr as opposed to Poseidon?
Yeah.
It really does feel like maybe they were hamstringing themselves, forcing him on it so many games in a row. To be fair, I mean, he had the game 1 impact. It was certainly there, even though I think it was, sloppier than what we would have expected. So it's not as if he was, not doing it for the team, but on this Ullr, he's just absolutely been there for him.
Yeah, definitely. He's looked more confident, I'd say, on this pick than the Poseidon, for sure, but for me, it's just been Beast again. I mean, this dude is clearly the best player on Mv3 in this set. I mean,
aptly named.
10-1, top of the player damage charts. I think Father of All has a really good game this time around as well. On the Ravana, I've noticed him really getting into the middle of these fights and CCing and doing damage and just being a general nuisance that Ravana is supposed to be. So I think between those 2 side laners, it's been pretty easy for Mv3 to pick up what else needs to be done.
They'll be grabbing this Fire Giant before it reaches the enhanced version. I say that. FataliTyxFire is nearby, but he won't make it in anywhere near in time. Mv3 grabbed the objective, and they might even grab themselves a solo laner. The ultimate's forced out defensively, and so that should mean that the Guan Yu's out, but a big cooldown won't be available if Mv3 keep up this push. This right side tower means very, very little. It goes down immediately.
Beast now with the Demonic Grip. He's working on what's probably going to be a Telkines.
Yeah.
After that, so plenty of damage for him. Already level 20 as well, so he just does a lot by way of base damage, it feels
You think
like.
with these rings he's not missing pen when he gets both of them? Demonic Grip is essentially pen.
Yeah,
on
it's
the
essentially
autos.
pen. I mean, his abilities won't do a lot to these frontliners, but his auto attacks will. The
Sure.
Telkines definitely helps out in that regard.
Well, Hoziel gets caught inside the Whirlpool. Hasn't learned how to swim just yet and takes a little bit too much damage. OutCold have forced them back, at least for now. They've got Just Lion returning to join them as well.
That's surprising because bears are great swimmers.
That's true. They hunt in the river, don't they?
Very, very often, yeah. They crush some salmon, man.
Every time I hear all these bear facts, I'm always like someone will be like, hey, bears can climb faster than they can run or something like that.
Yeah.
Whatever the fact is. And I go, sure, I don't believe in any scenario that gets me away from the bear. I don't have faith.
No, bears are apex predators
Yeah.
in the woods. You know, like nothing beats the bear.
That is
Bears
the
are so
beats from
cool.
Just Line.
And they're funny, you know? They like do like funny stuff.
Okay, give me a couple.
Like, have you seen the picture of the bear who like comes on a campsite and finds some food on the picnic table, so it sits at the picnic table and eats it?
He doesn't know how to sit at those.
He does. He sits down. It's hilarious.
I love it.
They're so funny.
That's great.
Have you seen the gif of the bear that hits itself in the nuts? And it like hurts.
I'm sure it does.
It's just very funny because I'm like, I've been there, bear.
Right? Me too. That bear me right now.
They're kind of like more powerful us,
Yes, in a lot of ways, yes.
but they also have to like sleep for half the year, idiots.
No, that's sick. What are you talking about? I wish I could.
Yeah, that's true. You're right. I was just insecure about it.
Yeah, we all know. Well, the Beach and Just Line were forced out in middle lane. He wasn't under that much duress, but safer rather than sorry. Now leaves him exposed for the next engagement. And in goes Father of All. Immediately, Cynortas brought to half HP. The dunk comes through as well. And the Poseidon's options running low. Drops down the ultimate as OhMyJhox Beast, and Cynortas no longer has to worry. He'll just have to sit in base. Fatal Strike takes down Just Lion. And I think this just might be it, Ryan. A double kill for Jox. He finds one more with the Fatal Strike. Surrender Vote coming through as well. And that's going to be it for the undefeated streak. It's Mv3, it's Maverick that put it into it and take game 3.
Impressive performance, but I don't know who's buying gems for Beast, but someone better be on Mv3. What a set from this guy. 11-1 in this final game of the set. Man, he just dominated that duo lane all set long.
Yeah, he did it to him. And now I think that OutCold, for the first time, we send them home with a bit of homework, which is figure out what you guys can do to get Just Lion through these laning phases better, man.
Yeah.
Because he has struggled in all 3 games. Even in their win, Beast was ahead of him all game long.
Yep.
I don't know if maybe so you got to have someone over there more often, better picks, something like that. You got to do something to get Just Lion more comfortable.
I mean, overall, that game just feels like Beast just got too far ahead and really carried the game, because that game was fairly even for a little bit. Then that fight around Gold Fury happens, and Beast is able to pick up a double kill before he dies. It just feels like the ADC for one team was doing a lot more than the other, and it feels bad. It's never one person's entire fault.
Yes, of course.
It's certainly not just Lion's fault that they lost the set entirely. But I mean, you watch the games and it just stands out at you that Beast was just the better ADC today.
And he gave that kind of performance there, and it was really to the benefit of Mv3, who grab a win. No one else has been able to do it yet, so keep your eye on this Maverick squad. Let's get it back over to the desk, though. They'll break it down.
Oh, it's Beast. He's a beast. Fantastic stuff coming in here from Mv3. The Mavericks actually take down OutCold for the first time this season. Nobody's done it yet.
No.
So congrats to the Mavs.
High risk, high reward, and what a reward it is to be able to play Blink Ullr and find the victory against the undefeated team. Beautifully played by Maverick, but not just by Jose in the Ullr mid, but also by Beast on the Soul.
Yep.
And that was without a Fafnir. It was banned away. Instead, it was played on the Artio.
Yeah, so good stuff coming out from Beast here. Just an easy kill to Just Line onto the tower, and then able to kind of follow up as well. Just consistently strong stuff in lane, strong stuff in transition, strong stuff in team fights as well. The double kill off of the solar burst, and just some good stuff.
It was difficult to get away from the Soul when you're playing the Cernunnos. You don't have any CC immunity. You get ganked here by an Artio that locks you down very easily. You're boxing against the Soul that has extra power, extra attack speed based off of the passive. It's a rough day for a Cernunnos.
And over here, there's just Cynortas finding his way back to base thanks to Jox. So a strong game, 11-1-5 for the sole player. Beast here just coming out on top, looking real clean. And then as you mentioned, Jose doing it as well, 6-2-7 on the mid lane Ullr.
With the Blink, that's how you know you're feeling very confident whenever you go Blink on any mid god, let alone a god in the Hunter role, or rather the mid role, but on a Hunter where it doesn't have any CC immunity, right? So you're looking for very aggressive plays, and it works out. Going 6-2-7, beautiful played by Father of All, diving that left side Phoenix, enabling the game victory.
And that's really what we're looking at, is something new here. OutCold Gaming have not lost until this moment. And so Mv3 looking very, very clean here. That's going to be one of the biggest things that they take home. OutCold on the other side have to take home the fact that, all right, so we can bleed a little bit. Is this a speed bump? Is this an indication of the future? Or is this the all-out collapse?
And I like their draft regardless from OutCold Gaming. They were kind of hoping to get these longer late game team fights with the Guan, with the Kumbhakarna for the control and the healing, but they just faltered behind a little bit too fast, too early.
Yeah, rough stuff there for OutCold to kind of keep up with Mavericks. And because of that, Mv3 able to take it. Again, OutCold kind of getting toppled for the first time. They will stay in the first place, but let's take a look at the standings for everyone else. You can see Mavericks, Mv3 Esports, 4-4. That win will put them in second place and separate them from Bedtime's Calling and VGS Gods.
VGS Gods able to find the victory there up against BTC, but OutCold Gaming still a very hefty favorite to close it out for at least this portion of the split.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, right now they're still 7-1, 3 wins above the closest team. So MB3 might have started a party, but that's really what we want to talk about is the start of what could happen after.
And sometimes the great have to fall early to really start basically being cleaner when it comes to the LAN, making sure that all those loose ends are tightened up.
PlayStation 4 EU is going to be said and done with. Coming up next, we've got Xbox European style. We'll be right back after this.